Tylenol has a shocking link to autism. I'm Dr. Dan. I'm a health practice advocate. I get fired up with bringing the truth to practitioners so they can help more people. In this video, I want to break down and shine some light on this thing called Tylenol. I have recently done a video on Tylenol, but new information has come into my world and I can't help but get on a video and talk about it because I know there's huge implications. So there is a direct link between Tylenol, which has an active ingredient called acetaminophen, and its relationship with creating autism in children. And I know that's an extreme statement, but the evidence is actually super clear on this. Those who take Tylenol with acetaminophen, which all Tylenol has, this active ingredient, there is a link between that and autism. And so I'm the guy who won't write something unless I can reference it, and I won't say it if I can't cite it. Below in the show notes is a link for the references that I'm talking about. Not only did they see a connection between Tylenol and autism, they saw so many other things. So this researcher named William Parker, fantastic researcher out of Duke University, is actually in the midst of publishing his work. He found that giving kids Tylenol has a different and profound effect in their body than adults. It is well known that Tylenol can cause liver problems. It toxifies the liver and creates devastating effects. That's been known for a long time. Medical doctors have known this. But what his research is uncovering is that when you give Tylenol to kids, especially in adult doses, it goes directly to the brain. So whereas an adult takes Tylenol, it affects their liver, a child takes Tylenol, it affects their brain. Why is this important? Well, he shows studies when they give Tylenol to rats, a 50% increase in anxiety. Another study showed that giving just 2 doses of Tylenol to baby mice immediately and permanently affected their brain's ability to learn. When somebody gets a fever, that's what doctors are taught. Give them Tylenol. Well, it turns out it could be one of the worst recommendations for their learning, their anxiety, their brain, and their immune system, because well-established research has shown a drop in glutathione, one of the greatest and most powerful antioxidants, which means that Tylenol is immunosuppressive. It literally destroys the immune system. As I've said before, taking Tylenol reduces glutathione is like taking the police off the streets in a riot for 2 full days. Think about what that does to kids. Other research is clear on both children and adults that it affects social behavior and social awareness. And if you look at one of the characteristics of autism, a hallmark symptom is a reduced social awareness. And so, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, doctors and health practitioners, I'm telling you right now, this popular drug that is seemingly for everybody and safe is turning out to be quite the opposite. Some research even shows that there's a 20-fold increase in a child getting autism when they've used acetaminophen or Tylenol instead of using ibuprofen. And again, I go back, what is the predominant symptom that most doctors recommend Tylenol for? It's a fever, which some of the greatest and most curious doctors of our age are coming out and finally admitting the fever was a good thing. The fever is there for a reason. And you guys know this. And if you've ever heard me, I'm very adamant about this. If you don't start with the premise that the body was designed to be strong and heal itself, then you're never going to get to the right solution. You're constantly going to be looking at symptoms as the enemy of war, and you'll fight them and try to numb them and get rid of them versus looking at why are they there. And it turns out treating symptoms with acetaminophen or Tylenol does not only get to the cause of the problem, it actually has significant consequences. And the other thing that will blow your flipping mind when you look at this data is that William Parker himself, the doctor, the researcher, prestigious, very world-renowned, was employed by Duke University. Well, he has uncovered this research and done some of it on acetaminophen, aka Tylenol. And as it's come out, he has had the grants, the money to do the research. He has begun to do significant research, and he's about ready to publish it. And something quite fascinating happened. He was let go by Duke University. All his funding was pulled, and he was left to go out on his own. And so you start to look at this and you start to connect the dots. It turns out that one of the top people at Duke University is on the board of Johnson & Johnson, the pharmaceutical company that makes Tylenol. So as this has come out, they've literally cut ties with the guy who has a great track record because he is throwing the red flag on Tylenol based on the research that he's showing. Guys, I can't make this stuff up. And at the end of the day, the reason why this fires me up is because even when good people try to do great things to help our fellow brother and sister and sons and daughters, if it doesn't go according to the plan or underneath their umbrella, it will get cut. So what do we do with this? We bring awareness. And one of my new mottos has come from Ephesians 5:11 that says, have nothing to do with the seeds of darkness, but rather expose them. This must be exposed because people get hurt. Kids are getting hurt. They're suffering needlessly. And so the more that this message gets out, the more that we can help them find the cause of their problems, know the dangers and implications of what is currently being recommended, and ultimately have different solutions. You have the answer. You have opportunity. It is a great time to provide drugless and surgeryless healthcare, especially based on principles of how the body works. If you need help with doubling or tripling your practice or the amount of people you see, or you just want to learn how to communicate better so that more people understand messages like this, let me know. It's what we do all day, every day, and I would love to help you. Click the link below. All the research is there. Hit me up in the comments. Dr. Dan, I'm out.